Despite being one of the world's most populated cities, London has more green spaces open to the public than any other metropolis on Earth. Our green journey across the capital begins in London's largest Royal Park, which will feature in the Olympic road race and time trial cycling events. Hard to believe that Richmond Park, which began life as a 17th century hunting ground for King Charles I, is just 16 kilometres from the city centre. Travelling east from here across the capital towards the Olympic Park, visitors and locals can add to London's 500,000 cycle journeys made per day by making use of the new cycle superhighways running into the city centre from every direction. It's estimated that on peak days, 4,400 spectators will travel to the Games by bicycle, and everyone else is being steered towards public transport, including the recently introduced hydrogen-powered zero-emission buses, now operating in central London. But it's not just the authorities who are taking up the green challenge. Fortnum & Mason, established in 1707 and one of the United Kingdom's most famous department stores, now has beehives on its roof, producing honey from bees feeding in the gardens of Buckingham Palace and the city's parks, and at the same time reducing the store's carbon footprint.
We get a lot of people visiting the beehives to see how it's done. A lot of people who actually want to put beehives on their own roofs. There's a lot of roofs around here where you could put beehives. So these are just very good examples of how to do it, and it doesn't actually have to be that complicated. It's really relatively simple.
Many Londoners and visitors use taxis to get around, of course, and private companies have already introduced hybrid cars to meet the growing demand for more environmentally friendly transport. With the Olympic Games as a catalyst, the Mayor's office has also pledged £1 million to help reduce carbon emissions from the city's iconic black cabs. From Fortnum & Mason, a short hybrid taxi journey will enable you to stroll along the London Canal network, now linked all the way out to the Olympic Park in the East End. It's a fair walk, so you'll need to take some fuel on board. Traditional English pubs are high on the agenda for most London visitors, and it's in this area you'll find the UK's only fully certified organic pub, serving responsibly sourced food using only seasonal ingredients. The owner has received an MBE from the Queen for her services to the organic pub trade.
We're the only gastropub in the world that's certified by the Soil Association. We also have a fish policy that's approved by the Marine Conservation Society, which was also the first in Britain. The Soil Association means that everything we stock here is organic and it has full traceability.
From here, it's a short hop to the Arcola, on a mission to become the world's first carbon-neutral theatre. Here it's not just bottles that are recycled, all the stage sets are from previous performances, the toilets are spares from a building development at Canary Wharf, and the insulation is fashioned from unused materials from the Olympic Park site in Stratford.
Just through the window in the fireglass there you can probably see the insulation, so it's about 4 inches of insulation. It's come from the Olympics, so they probably buy big sheets like this. We've got all the 6-inch strips, and we just pile 6-inch strips of insulation. Far better insulation than we could ever afford, and actually gives you soundproofing.
I think definitely London is a world leader in terms of sustainability and the way we think about it, and I think within that Arcola Theatre is a kind of very unique example of one way you can do sustainability that's accessible for all, that's open to anyone to participate.
As for the Olympic Park itself, it's here that the pledge to be the greenest Games ever will be most rigorously tested. This area of East London was previously a heavily polluted industrial wasteland. Now 2 million tonnes of soil has been decontaminated and then reused in the construction of the site. 20% of the concrete terracing in the Olympic Stadium and Aquatic Centre is recycled. A living roof has been planted on top of the athletes' village buildings, and 5 kilometres of riverbank in the area have been restored. So, an environmental journey that began in the largest of London's historic royal parks ends here in Stratford at the largest new park developed in the United Kingdom for 150 years. Education to inspire future generations is the only way to safeguard the future of the United Kingdom's green spaces. The world-famous Kew Gardens plays a pivotal role in cultivating that knowledge.
I think green space in any city is extremely important. The more green space, the happier the people, the more relaxed the people, and the more they can enjoy the city. I think it's vitally important that we educate as many people as possible about the role that plants play in the world, and in particular the role that Kew plays with plants around the world. You know, without plants, we can't survive. We need plants, and you know, all these plants around here are fine for people to look at and for us to work on. But you know, the best thing that we can do with these plants is use them as a messaging system to inform people about the need for plants. And if we're going to survive into the next century, then we have to preserve plants. And if we can spread the message to our visitors from London, but also the visitors that come to London from all around the world, then I'll feel that we've done something that's really important.
A sustainable existence is also vital at grassroots level. Capital Growth is an initiative backed by the Mayor of London for urban communities to claim green spaces and grow their own local produce. The rest of the United Kingdom's urban centres are watching with interest.
We support and we stimulate community food growing, but really the interest has come from local people themselves. Growing food in London means that you're reducing food miles. We have inspired other people, and there are lots of other cities that are doing similar urban agriculture projects, but I think the scale of what Capital Growth is trying to achieve, we're working in every London borough, we work with every sort of organisation. We're very inclusive in what we're trying to do because we believe that everybody in London can be part of this solution.